I mean, I don't even know why both of you and I are not in the gym right this minute.
Right now.
Can you
I feel,
believe her ass?
yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
because she works
I
for it.
can. She works for it, and it's so this young woman is so strong and so beautiful and yet so sexy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like such a great example for young women to see that lifting weights and working out is it can do amazing things for your body. Nonetheless, you could possibly meet another hot guy. You could possibly meet, it's like,
Well,
I love
also
the whole concept of the 360 of working out.
it's the confidence too, and that is part
Oh,
of what makes her so incredibly beautiful is that she's got this confidence. I am just in love with today's segment. So, before we discuss it anymore, hey everyone, I'm Amber,
and I'm Ryan
and this is Art Beauty, the real truth.
about the fake shits.
So, in line with this idea of like health body, it's 2020, it's the new year, new you, all that jazz. I went for a mammogram this morning.
Ooh,
Can we just, right, welcome to 40.
good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, you got to do it because prevention is key, and knowing about this is key. And but I do have to say, if it was, I can't. I don't want to scare anybody off, right? Because people told me, "Oh my god, it really hurts." And listen, parts of it hurt. I mean, they are smashing your boobs up there, but I feel like if it was men who had to do this, and I know there are some men who very unfortunately rarely get breast cancer. I know that it happens, so before anybody attacks me. But if it was men who was having to do this like every year, this would not be the procedure.
And
Because I
yeah,
mean,
no.
from like your, I don't know, testicular cancer, like you ain't smushing your balls in between two plates.
No.
I don't think, or are you? I feel like I would know about that more.
I don't think that. I don't think so.
It's probably like a nice gentle
You can
massage.
feel them. Yes, you do. You get a little rub and you have to cough and voila.
I mean, can you imagine? It's like this, or it's like, I couldn't believe today. And it's funny because they do something called, well, it's compression, but it's basically like how flat can we get your breast into this little pancakes shape? And I'm reading, and there's like a sign right behind it. I know, as you're like, are your nuts just cringing for my
For your
boobies?
boobs.
Yeah. A little hint, by the way, you don't want to go around that time of the month, which because they're sore to begin with.
Sensitive.
And then they put on these nipple things. So they put on these like nipple stickies so that they, I guess, can identify where the nipple is in the x-ray. They did 3D imaging on me. But they put these nipple stickers on. Ow, when you pull them off. So shout
I'm
out
so
to all those
sorry.
ladies who wear nipple covers. Those things hurt.
They do hurt, but you can use like an oil to remove them.
Yeah, well, they didn't have that. And I got to say, the
What?
people today at Lenox Hill Radiology were so lovely. It was really as good as can be. But I mean, somebody who out there is listening, we got to find a better way because this ain't it.
Yeah, no, I have a client who literally like ruptured her breast implant because of a mammogram.
So I was talking to the woman today about that. And of course, me being an opportunist at every situation, but I was like, you must see a lot of breast implants. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, if you have breast implants, you've got to sign a consent form because there's possibility of it rupturing right over my head. And I'm like, so, I mean, you probably see like a lot of good breast implants, right? And she's like, well, I mean, yeah. And I'm like, so do you ask who the doctors are?
You're so funny.
She was like, no, that's actually not what we're here for.
It's actually illegal and not PC.
She was like, the doctors that I'm working are really like trying to reconstruct, anyway. But
That's hilarious.
I was trying to make light of it. But yeah, she was like, if you do have breast implants, because I mean, 2020, this is the year that I think I'm pulling
The
the trigger. So that also got me through today. I'm like, squeeze, 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 get the clean bill of health, and then we'll go pump them right back up.
Yep. Woohoo!
And now I will just use that segue. Speaking of pumping things up today, we have a butt that is going to make you eyes go bananas. And a most beautiful woman who has earned every ounce of that booty. Hilary Loftus is a trainer at Liftonic. You've heard me talk about it. We've had Radana on, the owner of the gym. I love this. And you know what? If you are thinking that you can't get the ass that you want in 2020, let me tell you, just take a look at this. Hilary, I just can't even with you. You look phenomenal. Ryan, before you signed on, Hilary was just saying that she got a spray tan. So Ryan loves spray tans.
I do.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a spray tan fixes like most of my problems. You know, I'm like feeling really sad about things and I get a spray tan. I'm like, you know what? Things are not that bad.
It is addicting and it's definitely mood altering.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Hilary, I'm so excited to have you on. I love your classes at Liftonic. One of the
Thank
things
you.
that I love is you're so positive. And when I will admit, it was like about a year ago, I signed on to your Instagram, right? I had started taking classes and I was so amazed by how, number one, how banging your body is. But also how body positive you are. And you had a
Yeah.
really interesting story. You started in fashion before fitness. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. I mean, I went to like a fashion design high school. And then the natural progression was just to go to FIT. And then I did a bachelor's at FIT. I didn't love working in fashion. I think it's when you're younger and you start doing fashion, you have this like idealized version of what you think the fashion industry is. And then you get there and you're like, yeah, that's not it at all. And then I got into interior design and I loved it, but like I can't handle sitting at a desk all day. And I just knew that wasn't for my personality. And then, so I was like, I will try real estate because it's like a hop, skip, and a jump from interior design. Like you can, stage your own apartments, do all that. But it's just like some people can do that and some people can't. And I didn't love it either. And at the time I started really weightlifting. And then that became like the highlight of my day. And I kind of accidentally fell into it.
If you don't mind, I want to share some of these Instagram. And if you're listening to us right now, it's worth it to go over and check this out. First of all, this is Liftonic. This is where I met, where you are one of the instructors. But get ready, folks, because yowza. I mean, you are.
Wow.
And I'm just going to get right to it. I will show you the picture that I was like, can we just for a minute?
Wow.
Can we just?
Angles and lighting, I'm telling you. But I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it's just every day you got to work at it.
So, and excuse me for saying this, your ass is incredible.
It doesn't look fake. It looks 100% real. And you look strong. And I love this representation of beauty and sexy. This is my favorite because you look so healthy and you look like so stunning. Good for I'm sure you do to maintain that. You have to.
Yeah.
But I mean, can I, not to sound cheesy, but your waist is snatched. You have this tiniest little waist.
I think people would be very surprised at how much smaller their waist can get if they just ate differently.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, diet plays an entirely huge role in how big your waist is. Like most of the time, if you feel like it's your waistline that is the issue, like that is where most of your issue lies. That is all diet, like completely through and through. It's diet.
Yep. And now I do remember there was a post, and I'm not going to dig through them. We'll leave this one up here, where you mentioned that, and this is what I love about your body positivity. You mentioned that you were weight-wise some of the heaviest that you'd been, but yet you had a 24-inch waist. And that's what I want to really focus on today. You really spread this message of like, you eat, you work out, tell us, what is your philosophy on lifting weights?
Okay, so a little preface. So when I was in fashion design, I started going to college. I was like about 100 pounds,
Right.
and I'm 5'5". So when I was the heaviest I was, and I had a tiny waist, and I would think that pretty much across the board, like I feel like most people would say that I looked healthier and like happier on my heavier weight. I just like had different dimensions completely. I was 138 pounds, so almost 140 pounds. Right, so that's kind of a big, it's like 38 pounds of muscle and fat. I mean, you have to have both. But my theory behind weightlifting is you got to be consistent about it. And that is with anything, with diet and with your working out. I mean, I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably read that somewhere. But it really is facts. Like if you are consistent about something, show up for yourself, make time. And it's not just about thinking that one class is going to like give you that body. Like if you look at me and you're like, wow, her body's great. It's not just coming to class twice a week and thinking that that's going to do the job, because, you really have to spend that time focusing on your food as well,
Right.
and that takes time and like planning. And I think that's the hardest part.
So how many days a week are you in the gym?
Well, I work at one, so almost every day, but I would say I weight train 5 days a week. Yeah.
And a percentage ratio, right? So if you were to say, would you say it's 70% diet, 30% exercise? Or would you say it's 20% exercise, 80% diet?
Yeah, totally. I think that diet plays a disgusting role. Like no one wants to hear it. It's like people work out so that they can eat more. And like, I do eat more, but you have to kind of like be strict about how much more food you're eating.
Yeah.
I can eat a lot of sushi. Like my cheat meals are insane. So I can eat most grown men under the table.
But you're also working out incredibly and you're lifting really heavy. And
yeah,
I want to know.
I teach classes. I'm a personal trainer. I'm standing on my feet all day. I'm running back and forth from classes and the studio I train at. So it's just, I'm very active, like all day.
Yeah.
When you do Instagram photo shoots, like the photos we just saw.
Yeah.
How is the process in picking for you? When you have to look at yourself and you have to look at like 25 images, how do you choose the ones that you choose?
Oh, I mean, so I have a photographer. I have like pretty much one photographer I use it, and he knows I'm totally psychotic and we have to get like every angle. You just don't want to go don't want to miss the shot. So, I mean, he does a bit of cueing, and then I know there's like some angles that I want. I have like a token angle that you can see that I kind of mimic, over my left shoulder here. But it is, I would say, I'm kind of a mess. I just like bring a bunch of stuff, and my photographer is like, all right, let's do this, and like we get some shots. And he always wants to do beauty shots, and I was like, no, I want to take photos of my ass.
I feel like, Ryan, don't you have that outfit? I'm pretty sure you do.
I might, but it might be gold.
I'm pretty sure that you showed that once, maybe even on this show, or maybe it was just in private. Sorry to call you out. Like, what do we need to do specifically when it comes to, building our dream ass?
So it depends on like how serious you are about this. Like, I mean, I think everyone kind of starts from a different starting point. So if you need to like actually grow a butt versus just like change the shape. But I train legs and butt twice a week.
Okay.
So I hit that muscle group twice a week. And then as well, I lift heavy. All right. So I lift really heavy. I mean, as heavy as you can go. And I think that is something that a lot of people don't understand is the effort. So if you are doing a set of 12 or 15, those last 4 reps should feel almost impossible. Right?
Yeah,
so it is in terms of effort, like people in my classes, and everyone's there for a different reason. Maybe they just came to show up to like feel better that they like did some activity. And not always, everyone's always in like 100% headspace. But like, if you're there to work, you should be fucking giving it your all, like every day, try and show up and just like give the most that you can.
So when you're saying heavy, like what, because heavy, I've actually heard this number,
people.
right. But what is your heavy?
All right. So, I mean, I don't usually do PRs, a personal record, that often, because I focus on aesthetics. But I mean, I have squatted quite a few times, 225.
Woo!
And then, yeah, my leg press, I've recently, and I guess it's my new high number, done it way more than once. That's 670 pounds on a leg press.
But now, like on a regular day, what is your weight range when you're just, like if you were to be in your Liftonic class doing those kind of squats, what are you looking at?
So like, what would I lift, or like, what do I want other people to lift?
Yeah, no, what would you lift?
So it is, all the focus would be, so whenever you're in a group fitness class, it is nonstop, so when I'm at the gym, I'm, I get little breaks, whereas like in class, you don't get breaks. So you're not gonna be able to go as heavy anyways, because it is pretty much nonstop. But I do want to see that someone is really struggling with that weight. Now, and everyone, I mean, I've had clients that come to me and they're like strong, I'm like, holy shit. And then I've had clients that I'm like, you really can't lift that?
Right.
Like, oh my God. Okay. Wow. All right. We're going to take a step back. And that's okay. Like, I have taken clients that have had injuries, and then we've like built up their strength, and now they're squatting like 100 pounds, so it's incredible.
I want to admit here, because when I started, I was lifting
you were grabbing the
squats.
20-pound weights.
No, baby. I was grabbing like the 10-pound weights. So 20-pound, yeah, total. And now I'm like 25 on each side, but I think I'm ready to go heavier. The thing that I worry about is like that, because you're right, it's back to back. And after a while, if you're going heavy, the form starts to falter. And one of the things that I love about your class is that you really focus on form. And you said something brilliant. You said, I do basic because basic works. Tell us what you mean by that.
None of the things that I do are really that creative. Like, basics fucking work.
Yep.
And they've worked for a very long time. Like, the bicep curl isn't going anywhere. The glute bridge isn't going anywhere. Squat isn't going anywhere. Like, they are in everyone's workout plans for a reason. I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And so it's basic exercises are just the key to my heart,
And you're really, you really focus, like I said, on the form. Because if we're doing things wrong, when you're working your butt.
There's no point in doing it. If you're doing it wrong, it's just like you're not going to be hitting the muscle that you want to be there working for. So it's just so important that you have perfect form, or you're like really working toward getting that perfect form. No matter what you're doing, like the slightest movement in your knee and your hip can make all the difference.
Well, and it can injure you and take you out of working out for like months.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's scary when you see people who are just like slinging things around.
It's also like learning something new and learning about your body. And it's actually, weightlifting is so good for your bones. So as females, especially if you're like in your early 20s and going into your 30s, and especially going into your 40s, like just getting strong bones, like weightlifting helps the density of your bones. And like, as women, we're more prone to osteoporosis. It's just so important.
So wait, but now you have to tell me. So like, what should you be lifting in Liftonic?
I mean, like you said, you can go heavier.
Right.
You've just been hesitating.
Problem with it hurts my back.
So do you put it front ways, back ways?
That's why I do the two. I do the two because the one, I feel like number one, I'm like, if this gets to be too much, it makes me nervous, because I'm like, I'm going to have to drop this and I don't want to hit somebody or hurt myself. So I find that the two is a little bit more manageable.
So you definitely don't want to, you want to do a weight where you can really focus on your glutes the whole time.
Yeah.
So especially in class, it's all about that connection, and that's where you want the work. So if you are even if you're going too heavy, you'll immediately notice that your weight kind of starts shifting into the wrong places.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just being very like body aware. Like,
Yeah.
where are you feeling that? And like knowing where it should be, and that takes time,
Yeah.
and like, that's why I try to say, keep it in your heels, push out your knees, and like actively think about that glute the whole time. So even if you're going up, I mean, you might be able to go up to 35, and it's 10 pounds. It's not a whole lot, but maybe you can do that for the last set.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's annoying is carrying the weights over.
It's true.
So you're going to have like 230s, like,
It's true.
235.
Yeah, but you know what? It's worth it. At the end of the day, you know, it's worth it. You got to work it. So.
And you feel accomplished. You're like, I did that. I fucking did that.
Well, I will say this. There are some days where it is like a battle in my head to be like, I just don't feel like doing this. And I just keep reminding myself, nobody ever said after going to the gym, I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah.
You never said that.
And I think, I read some quote about success. It's not whether you want to, it's like the discipline. You have to have discipline. You have to do it whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
And that kind of separates people from getting what they want and not getting what they want.
By the way, I'm calling you out right here because I'm on, and I was asking you for weight numbers, 95-pound walking lunges. So I really need to pick this up.
Yeah.
So in class, like realistically, okay.
I'm demonstrating my lunges with like 20-pound weights.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in a class setting, you can't do walking lunges. But I mean, I'm now up to 125-pound lunges,
right.
But since I'm host, but I mean, walking lunges are one of my favorites. If done right.
And I'm glad you're sharing this, because I think a lot of people go in, and a lot of women, I shouldn't generalize this, but I do think that a lot of women are afraid of lifting heavy because they're like, I don't want to get big and I don't want to get bulky. And I just want to say that you are like this itty bitty solid powerhouse. And if you're lifting heavy, I think it's great for us all to hear that and to know, lift heavy.
All right. So you're not just going to like wake up magically one day and be like, fuck, I'm bulky. Like, how did that happen? And say like, oh, damn it. You actually like, you have to eat to like be strong. You can't just like have a salad and then like maybe get to some nuts later. It's like, you're not going to be strong, and you're not going to be able to sustain any sort of weight if you're not eating for it. So I'm going to say, I am generalizing it, because I think in New York, a lot, like the body type most women want to be, or like that is revered, is, like very skinny and really thin thighs. And I'm not about that life.
Oh, I don't know, girl. I feel like you've got this whole J-Lo, like sexy AF thing going on that I think now is what, I mean.
Very in, for sure.
It's so, and because you know what it is? It looks healthy. You look healthy.
Thank you.
Jesus.
But still very sexy and very
feminine. Very womanly. Yeah. Very womanly.
Yeah,
so
I think I always grew up like very skinny. So I was like, well, I'm going to build them. I'm going to build the curves. I think a lot of girls are very concerned with getting bulky, and that is something that I hear all the time. But it takes a very long time for most people to get bulky, to get like that bulky look. And I lift heavy 5 days a week, and I'm constantly going heavier. But you, like, the stars have to align for like a girl to get bulky. It's just not that possible, because we don't have nearly enough testosterone for us to like build muscle the way that men do. It's not magic. Like, it's super hard work. So if you're not really working hard on it, then it's not going to happen.
And I love that you said it's not going to happen overnight either.
No. So like, if for some reason, like, you're a female with a lot of testosterone, and you are getting more muscular than you want, I hate the word bulky, then you can just like not do it anymore.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Because Radon told us, like, really, your that muscle will start to break down pretty quickly. Like within a couple of weeks, it will start to.
I also think that, say you have a couple pounds to lose, and you're starting to lift really heavy. Well, most people start lifting and then they don't clean up their diet around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So sure, if you have fat on you and then you're gaining a little bit of good muscle that you should have, yeah, you're going to look bigger because you still have the same amount of fat. Like I said, it's not magic.
Right.
Right.
And so there might be like a little bit of that crossover period before the weight loss really starts to hit. Like you need to be eating strictly for a month, for 2 weeks for you to notice something different. And then about a month for like other people to start being like, damn girl.
And I mean,
Look
I
at
want to just
you.
like show this again because like the proof is in the pudding.
The pudding.
I mean, you look
I don't know
phenomenal.
how far you really have to scroll, but there's like a before picture of me.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay, let's see. Because I was actually going to tell you should do that.
And that I was like under 100 pounds at the time.
Oh,
There.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That needs to be the cover of our episode.
Yes.
Amber.
Can we use this for the cover of our episode? My God. So
Sure.
I just looking at this. Wow. Because it's one thing when people think, oh, she always looked like this.
Yeah.
But talk about a difference. So this was just, how long did it take to go from, before to after?
I mean, I think that was quite a bit of years in between, but I mean, I was living a totally different lifestyle. I was working at a club there. I was like 19. I
Say
feel
no more,
like
sister. Yeah.
I took Adderall all the time and ate like, a chicken salad, once a day.
Right.
It's just like, I didn't know anything about how the body works and like what you should be putting, like, I didn't know anything about it. And I just think that as I got older, in like my mid 20s, things just like weren't as high as they used to be. So I was like,
girl, wait till 40. But I'll tell you, my 40-year-old body, I feel like is way better than my 30-year-old body.
You are correct,
So-
ma'am.
So weights. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. I've seen some crazy bodies, like the things that you can do in your 40s and 50s. I've seen some 40 and 50-year-old women that do like bikini competitions and like, like they put me to shame.
Can we also can we take a moment right here and talk about these nails that Ryan, hang on, wait, you gotta show them. Let's see your current nails right now.
Wow.
They're just like freckles of kind of foil, and then she put a little like snow in there.
I love it.
Like a snow globe.
And I love that you are lifting weights every day with like those glam fingers.
Talons.
Yeah,
That's
but
amazing.
you know what? I always say, because Ryan's heard this before, so my nails are actually short right now, but I like them long. I've never gotten them quite as long as yours, but I like them pointy. And my nail woman across the street used to nail shame me because she was like, pointy nails, you look like a witch. And I was like, you need them in New York. You need claws.
I just love them, and I've heard so many people say that like they don't like them, and just like do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to.
They make me so happy, and like, no, I can't box, but like I hate cardio anyway, so.
Me too. Me too. I will lift weights all day, every day to not necessarily do cardio. On my leg days, if I am not drenched, and I mean change your shirt before you leave the gym drenched.
Yeah, no, I'm uncomfortable. I'm like wet on my leg days.
Yeah, it's not, leg day is not like have to change my clothes. And then I'm like, okay, my heart rate got jacked enough. I don't need to get on a treadmill.
That's something that I feel like a lot of women, when they come take my classes and they're new to weightlifting, I don't know if they're not expecting any cardio, but Liftonic doesn't have any cardio. It's low impact, just weightlifting. And I think people are surprised because your heart rate does get so jacked up while you're weightlifting, and when you're weightlifting, your metabolic rate stays high longer throughout the day. So it is more effective, in my opinion, per hour than cardio.
You don't do any you don't do any cardio?
Currently I am not doing any cardio. When it comes into like springtime, I only do the Stairmaster. I mean, I am very fortunate that I don't really necessarily need cardio. I have to fight to keep my body like as large as it is. I eat tons of white rice. But cardio is really great just so you can keep a nice healthy heart. It's also really great to kind of keep your stamina up. It really makes a difference. When I'm doing cardio, I tend to be able to lift heavier, go a little bit longer because my heart rate is kind of like used to being high.
It's true. But you know what? I will say for people listening at home, if you do a Liftonic class, we got to get Ryan into one of them. My heart will be pumping because in between you are moving and it really depends. I feel like Veronica yesterday, it was legs day with Veronica. I was like, girl, what did you drink before you came in here? It was like, okay, now we're going to do this. Now we're going to do this. Now we're going to do this. I was like, and I do this. And I told Radon this. When I'm in class, I will be shooting laser beams out my eyes at the instructor. And it's like, fuck you, I hate you. But then afterwards, it's like, oh my God, I love you, thank you.
That was so good.
So, just touching on diet a little bit, can you tell us a little bit about your diet? Because you did say diet is so important. So what does that mean?
Yeah. Okay. So you want to, my diet's not going to be the same as someone else's diet, but you want to try to eat whole foods. And I am kind of a big on eating, you should be eating a lot of vegetables. Carb should be all about carb timing. And I don't think people really realize that. You can't just like have fucking carbs whenever you want, or you can, but if you want like that body, you want to be that bitch, like, no, you can't. And there are rules. So like I prefer my carbs in the morning, and then I absolutely have to have a carb after I work out. Like it doesn't make any sense not to. You have to replenish your glycogen. So carbs after you work out. And then if you just like love carbs like me, then you're definitely going to want to eat them before you work out for like some energy. But other than that, I eat about 4 to 5 times a day. Don't tend to have carbs. I try not to have carbs for my last meal. But like life is rough and it's winter.
Well, and when you say carbs, let's be real, because like my carbs are like Levain cookies. Your carbs are probably, I know.
White rice and sweet potato, honey.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like, I love sushi rice and like jasmine rice. And so white rice is kind of like my jam.
Yeah.
Oatmeal in the morning, I really love. It sustains your energy really well. And then I've been putting it with protein powder.
Okay.
Doing like an overnight oat situation. And for people that tell me like, oh my God, I can't in the morning. I'm like, you can't mix together some oatmeal and like put it in a jar?
So I do every morning it's like the lower, you're going to be so horrified, but it's the lower sugar, Quaker instant maple brown sugar, oatmeal. Depends
on how much sugar is in it.
Oh, you know what? I should look. I don't have it here with me right now.
So
I'll follow into what do we want it to be?
Is those packets of sugar. Each of those packets is a gram. Yeah. All right. So when you look on the back of something, they usually take the sugar by grams. So like a Powerade could be like 43 grams of sugar. That is like pouring 43 packets of sugar into your drink. So it completely changes the way you look at food, because would you actively put 12 packets of sugar into something? No. Right. Now you have to keep in mind that like some things with fruit have natural occurring sugar. So it's not going to be as bad, but you have to see if there's any additives. But yeah, that when someone clued me in on that little fun fact, I was like
how I am right now, my mind is blown that is what it is.
Beverages alone can tackle on another 1,000 calories to your day, and you don't even realize it. It's, you know what, when I identify with a lot of the beginning of your story, right? Because when you're a young gay man and you're like 19 and 20 and you want to be like this big, you want to be like so tiny and thin and not have any body fat. And then when it came time to like, okay, I can't really pull that off anymore. I'm too old. And it came time to like
It just like doesn't look good. Like it looked really great when I was 19.
Right.
And then now I'm like, I'm a woman.
Truly.
I want to like not look like a 12-year-old boy.
Exactly. And I remember that moment in my life where I was like, okay, I need to like lift weights. Like I need to truly. And then I think genetics plays into a lot.
Totally.
I remember, you're inspiring me. I just have to tell you this right now because I have been
you.
needing a little bit of something to get back to the gym on a regular basis. And your ass pictures.
Ryan loves ass.
Amber,
Ryan loves a good ass.
I just secretly sent you my number one when I was doing legs twice a day, when I was eating like, double protein, min veg, like my
Can we
ass
just
go ahead. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I told you have the same outfit. I knew it.
I mean,
and I told you there's a gold version too. But thank you so much. Honestly, you just gave me the kick in the ass that I needed.
Great.
Truthfully.
I think all changes. I think I've had 2 of my clients recently be like, but can it really like grow? Can you really grow your ass? I'm like,
oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, literally what my whole business is built on. Like, because I did.
You know what? I feel like we said this the other day. If you can't grow it, you can fill it in. But you should definitely work it out too.
Yeah.
But filling it in gets expensive.
If you grow it first and get what you get, like that's I say this all the time. I worked out hardcore for 3 years, meal prepped, the whole shebang. And my result was my result. It wasn't what I wanted. I then went to an alternative motive to get what I wanted. I just so happened to have a hernia in a couple places. And that's why I couldn't really get a certain amount of abs. But at the end of the day,
I mean, it's hard.
No, it's hard. But I always say, build what you can.
And buy the rest.
And buy the rest.
And buy the rest. Girl, you just have everything going on here. You should be so incredibly proud of yourself. And thank you.
Thank you.
We need to hear this, the honesty. And, for 2020, let's get those cheeks high. Let's get those cheeks high and strong.
Yeah. Like
strong and beautiful. Snatched.
Yeah.
Snatched. I love it.
Of course. Yeah. I think my main goal is just to get like women weightlifting. I just want I think a lot of girls have, if there's a stigma behind it, with the whole being bulky, ridiculousness. And it's just false.
On that note, 2020, like when you look like that, can you even have a New Year's resolution?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think my main focus is to be a little bit more strict with my diet. I think everyone can be a little bit more strict with their diet. And I'm going to get me some abs.
Ooh, good for you, girl.
So, yeah. So that's my challenge. And it's hard because when you get too lean to have abs, abs are also very genetic. But if you get lean enough to have abs, half the time, your ass kind of like, fat.
And dear, if you at the end of 2020, if you're still not where you need to be, just call me and I'll give you my secret.
His doctor's name.
My doctor's name. Because I had to keep the ass. I had to keep the ass.
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah.
Had to.
You have to keep the ass. You got to keep the abs. And for those of us who are just working for one, I mean, keep on keeping on. Hilary, thank you so, so much for being on with us. If people want to find you, if they want to come take your class, what's the best way to reach out and find you?
Instagram, DM me. Yes, I mean, I usually answer comments, DMs, so I'm pretty good about that.
Okay, and for everybody, her Instagram is Lady Loftus. And of course, you can also go and take her class, here she is, at Liftonic. So you've heard me talk about this. I love this. Look at these beautiful, beautiful women. Radon has been on the show before. I preach this because it works. it works. So thank you so much for being on. If you guys want to reach out to us, you can always find us on Facebook and Instagram at Art Beauty Podcast, or you can send us an email at hello@artbeautypodcast.
And don't forget to check us out on our new platform, YouTube, at youtube.com/Art Beauty Podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, give us a little hello, how are you? We'd love to hear from you. And we're going to see you next Tuesday. Bye.